Welcome back to the channel, everyone. If you're new here, I'm Paula, and on this channel we break down what's really going on in the world of crypto. The headlines, the charts, the policies, the hidden forces that move markets behind the scenes. And if you're already in the wolf pack, you know exactly what we do here. We don't just follow price, we follow power. And right now, the market is in chaos. Bitcoin has just fallen to its lowest level in over 7 months. Sentiment is in extreme fear. Altcoins are bleeding. Liquidity is drying up. And everywhere you look, people are panicking. But here's the thing I say over and over. When markets crash, most people stare at the candles. They zoom into the chart, they get lost in the intraday volatility, and forget that price is always the last part of the story. The real story, the one that dictates what's happening next, is happening off the charts. Because markets don't crash in isolation. They crash when conditions change, when sentiment shifts, when regulation pivots, and when major players make moves that most people aren't paying attention to. And right now, there is a massive shift happening beneath the surface of this market. A shift that has nothing to do with traders on Binance or retail panic selling. It's a shift happening at the very top of political and financial power. Because while fear is rising, liquidity is falling, and retail investors are scrambling, one of the most powerful families in the world has quietly been building a massive position in crypto, raising hundreds of millions, launching a stablecoin, securing foreign investment, and constructing a 1.5 billion crypto treasury structure. And what makes this even more shocking is that that figure at the centre of all of this once stood in front of the cameras and called crypto a scam. That person is Donald Trump. So while the market is falling and everyone's staring at red candles, today we're going to zoom out and look at the real picture. The money, the influence, the political shift, the international angle, and the long-term implications of the Trump's family's move into crypto. Because when you understand the scale of what's happening, this market looks very different. Let's get into it. It wasn't that long ago that Donald Trump criticised crypto openly. He said Bitcoin was based on thin air, a threat to the dollar, and something the US should treat with extreme caution. And these weren't offhand comments. They were repeated multiple times between 2019 and 2021. So to go from that level of public criticism to the level of involvement he and his family have today is one of the biggest reversals we've ever seen from a global political figure. That shift became publicly visible in late 2024, and by early 2025 it was impossible to ignore. That's when Trump and his sons launched World Liberty Financial, or WLFI. At first, most people didn't take it seriously. Critics called it another marketing play. Some said it was similar to celebrity token projects that come and go. But then the numbers came in and the entire narrative changed. WLFI's token sale raised around $550 million in early 2025, according to filings and reporting from major outlets. Not from hype-driven retail, but from well-funded investors and private entities that clearly believed something bigger was happening. Then, a UAE-based investment group purchased $100 million worth of WLFI tokens, instantly becoming one of the project's largest holders. When investment on that scale comes from a region with major sovereign wealth influence, it's not a gamble, it's a strategic bet. By mid-2025, reporting revealed that the Trump Organization's crypto ventures had generated over $800 million in income in just the first 6 months of the year, far surpassing income from their traditional businesses. Crypto wasn't a hobby. It wasn't an experiment. It had become their primary revenue engine, and that was just the start. WLFI entered into an agreement with Nasdaq-listed Alt5 Sigma to form a 1.5 billion crypto treasury structure, a corporate mechanism designed to hold WLFI tokens and related assets in a publicly traded entity. This gave the WLFI ecosystem legitimacy, visibility, and access to global markets in a way almost no early-stage crypto project has. In just a few months, the Trump family had gone from public crypto skeptics to running one of the most financially significant crypto organisations in the world. And this is where timing becomes fascinating. At the same time, WLFI was raising hundreds of millions and forming billion-dollar structures and attracting foreign investment, US regulators began changing tone. After years of aggressive clampdowns, the SEC released its 2026 exam priorities. And for the first time in years, crypto asset firms were not listed as a special focus area. This doesn't mean the SEC is hands off. It doesn't mean regulation is gone, but it signals a softer stance compared to the enforcement-heavy approach of previous years. Ethics experts pointed out that it is unprecedented for a US president or a former president in a position of significant political influence to be this financially entangled in a sector while that sector's regulatory environment is shifting. And whether you support Trump or not, that overlap matters because regulation shapes capital, regulation shapes adoption, regulation shapes where innovation goes. And when one of the world's most influential political figures has $1 billion stake in that industry doesn't get ignored. This shift, combined with the Trump family's massive financial footprint, has changed how investors worldwide view the United States' role in the crypto space. And this brings us to what this means for America. For years, the US has been losing crypto talent, losing startups, losing exchanges, and losing influence to Dubai, Singapore, Hong Kong, and Europe, simply because regulations were unclear and unpredictable. But this is changing, and the Trump-aligned movement into crypto is a major part of this shift. For the first time in years, the US is starting to look like it may embrace crypto strategically, not as a threat, but as an opportunity. The WLFI ecosystem includes its own stablecoin, USD1, a fully collateralized dollar-backed digital currency. This stablecoin wasn't launched quietly. It's already been selected as the stablecoin used in a $2 billion Abu Dhabi investment deal involving Binance, one of the biggest crypto exchanges on earth. That tells us something major. USD1 isn't a meme or a marketing coin. It's becoming infrastructure. And if US-aligned stablecoins dominate global payments, the dollar becomes even stronger internationally through digital rails. Crypto doesn't weaken American influence, it expands it. And Trump's pivot into crypto places America back in the global race for digital currency leadership. Zooming out globally, the competition is fierce. China is pushing its digital yen into emerging markets. Singapore is building advanced crypto derivatives markets. Dubai is becoming a magnet for crypto companies. Europe is building structured digital asset regulation. Every region wants to control the future of digital money. The US was falling behind until now. When a UAE-based fund puts $100 million into WLFI, when a Trump-backed stablecoin is used in a $2 billion transaction, when the Trump organization's crypto income surpasses $800 million in 6 months, and when a $1.5 billion WLFI treasury structure is established, global investors notice, governments notice, and the world begins to reposition. Crypto stops being a tech story. It becomes a geopolitical story. Because the countries that control digital currency infrastructure will control trade, payments, settlements, and financial influence for decades to come. And through WLFI, USD1, and associated structures, the Trump family has placed itself and the United States right at the centre of that conversation. From here, the story can move in a few directions. One path is a full American embrace of digital assets. Clear rules, massive adoption, and the US reclaiming its place as the centre of global financial innovation. Another path is political conflict and ethical scrutiny over the Trump family's overlapping financial and political roles, a scenario that could create short-term volatility. But the most likely path sits somewhere in the middle. Crypto becomes normal, integrated, regulated clearly. America embraces it strategically, and WLFI becomes one major player, but not the only one, in a much larger ecosystem. Whichever direction the world takes, one thing is certain. Crypto is no longer just a market, it's a powerful structure, and the Trump family's involvement is reshaping that structure dramatically. My goal with this video is to help you understand why these things matter, because crypto is no longer moved only by charts and hype. It's being reshaped by politics, regulation, billion-dollar capital flows, and global influence. And when the landscape changes this dramatically, you need a strategy that works in every environment. And that's exactly why the Crypto Wolfpack created a completely free course, because having a clear strategy matters even more when the market is crashing or when major players are making big moves. Whether we're heading into a new bullish phase driven by US leadership or into more volatility shaped by political conflict, we use the same frameworks to navigate both. So if you want to know the exact strategies we use to make money in both the bull market and the bear market, the link to the free course is in the description below. It'll help you stay grounded and strategic no matter what the market does next. Now I want to hear from you. Do you think Trump's involvement is going to strengthen crypto, harm it, or even reshape the landscape? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, hit like, subscribe, and share this with someone who needs to understand what's happening behind the scenes. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.